Slaves of Solitude by Patrick Hamilton. What a wonderful masterpiece this is, and what a glorious author, Patrick Hamilton. Proves to be. David Lodge said this is one of the best books about World War II, and it's not just that, it's one of the best books, period. That's my impression, my humble addition to that statement. And look how it starts. London, a crouching monster, like every other monster, had to breathe, and breathe it does in its own obscure, malignant way. Its vital oxygen is composed of suburban working men and women of all kinds, who every morning are sucked up through an infinitely complicated respiratory apparatus of trains and termini into the mighty congested lungs, held there for a number of hours, and then, in the evening, exhaled violently through the same channels. Wow. The men and women imagine they go in and come out more or less of their own free will, but the master knows better. Why this grim depiction? Well, this was war, late in 1933. The conditions were of intense work and of intense winter. This is third part. This could work, if not for the purposes, let's share some wonderful knowledge, information about splendid books. If it doesn't work that way, maybe it should work as a puzzle. Spot the third bird in the picture, the moving picture. The conditions were of intense war, intense winter, and intensest blackout in the month of December 1953. Okay. Miss Annie Roach is the central figure here, an unlikely figure to get so much attached to, but I did. 39 and worked as a secretary in other capacities with a publishing firm in London. She doesn't like the name Enid, so she prefers people to call her Roach, and she becomes Roach when a little before this conflict, the biggest hatred between two women, or something like that. Mrs. Payne has a boarding house in Thames, Lockdown, a small town not far from London. Our protagonist, Miss Roach, had to leave London, just like so many others, because of the termina of the intense bombing. Miss Roach had given hope years ago. Yet, oddly enough, she had only recently had an offer of marriage from a man, an elderly accountant. Mr. Thwaites is president in hell. In this place, this boarding house, where hellish melancholy prevailed. Mr. Thwaites tortured her. That is our Miss Roach. He was a secret hot disciple of Hitler. Hated Russians, so he said often, my lady's maid will soon be giving orders to my lady, and my lord will be polishing the pot boy's boots. That's his thing, because he thinks communism, Bolshevism is coming to England and other places. She was briefly a hit, Miss Roach, the heroine, had Mrs. Cove, and her nickname had been Old Cockroach. What else? She could never even keep proper discipline in class. She seems to be the epitome, potential decent human, polite, unable to harm, unable to lower down to insults. And when this happens to her, when she's betrayed, she's taken on by Vicky Krugerman. It will be a shock. And however improbable this could be, I mean, what? Isn't this boring? Would be maybe somebody looking from outside. Some people in the holding house during the war, nothing can happen there. So what's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? When do we ride into Jerusalem? Jesus Christ, what's that? Well, it is more than captivating. It's with febrile anticipation that we read on. I did, to see what happens next, to see what other insult and shenanigan and cruelty is inflicted upon our figure. And before I end this, although there may be a new note, another note tonight, we'll see. I'm thinking of Umberto Eco and his quote, the one who doesn't breathe has one life. Those of us who breathe have 5,000 lives. That's infinity or eternity backwards. And if in some past couple of weeks I encountered two books that I wasn't really too happy with, in fact I had to abandon. So no interest in entering those lives. This one is more than rewarding. This encounter, this walk, trip, new life offered by Miss Roach. That is, Patrick Hamilton is enticing, is indeed confirming Umberto Eco in his view that we do have a chance when we read, because this is so interesting. And to add something, there is Malcolm Bradbury and his To the Hermitage, wherein he says something like, this is not a quote, the characters in a novel, in literature, have an advantage over those we meet in real life, especially here. Oh, the magnolia is blooming. I don't know if it's within range, but it's blooming, the magnolia in the garden outside. Not mine, but stuff. So, the characters in literature, in novels, good novels, I would add, are much more enticing, clever. The plots there are extremely increasing, especially in contrast to what happens in real life. So there are advantages to reading wonderful books like Solitude. Such an enchantment. And you can read that without leaving the house. You can enter those slides and meet those fabulous characters and get the benefit of these narratives, these plots, from your own life.